Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Ryan and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I'll be covering something that's pretty controversial and something that a lot of people want to know, and that is how is Mob of the Dead connected to every single zombie map? I think we have some pretty cool information that's come out with Zetsubou no Shima, and we can kind of start piecing this storyline together, and it does make a lot of sense towards how the plane is connected to all these maps. With that being said, let's jump right into the video. So to start off, I want to show you guys the actual plane sequence in Mob of the Dead. Now, if you guys go frame by frame, you'll actually see that there's a little bit of like a white screen or white flash, and then the Golden Gate Bridge appears. Also, keep in mind that when you guys actually go to the Pack-a-Punch area in Mob of the Dead, as you're leaving Alcatraz, it takes like 5 to 6 seconds, and there's no way a plane could get from Alcatraz to the Golden Gate Bridge in 5 to 6 seconds. And like I said, in between that, there is actually a flash of white, and then the Golden Gate Bridge appears. With that being said, I want to show you guys the other ciphers we have found, as well as some more information. Alright guys, so in Zetsubou no Shima, there's actually a cipher, and it says, "I shut down the power for the night. We must conserve the gasoline, so I am told, because the Emperor is in doubt of the usefulness of our research here at the Rising Sun facility, and that resupplying the facility will now occur every other month, rather than our usually scheduled weekly drops. However, the new meteor site produces higher grade samples, ones we can actually use. Wait, is that a plane I hear? The resupply is not scheduled for another week. I see a bright light in the sky." So the argument to this would be that this is just the plane that is dropping in perks. Well, why is that plane needed? I mean, that plane is not significant at all, because all it does is drop in perks for the player. So with the storyline of zombies, we know that the Mob of the Dead crew, they cannot get out of their purgatory or their cycle that they're in, and they'll keep actually spawning. So you guys go to kill yourselves, you go back to the main room, and you guys go back to Pack-a-Punch, and it's the same thing over and over. So with that being said, guys, this flash of light that they're talking about in the cipher, could this possibly be the flash of white that we actually see in between flying from Mob of the Dead to the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's like that lightning or that portal opening up, and the people actually flying through each map? Now, they're not actually staying in the map like forever, they're just flying through like there's like a time rift or something, and they've actually opened up a portal to a different dimension. They're flying through it and then going right back into the same dimension they were in, because it's somehow corrected itself. It's a pretty far out there theory, but there is a lot of things in Zetsubou no Shima, like, you know, the actual plane from Mob of the Dead, as well as in Shadows of Evil and the Giant with the Mob of the Dead plane. So there's just a lot of correlation here between this, and again, guys, Mob of the Dead is just an endless cycle. So what's to say that the first time they actually flew and they hit that lightning storm and they opened up a portal, they didn't go through Shadows of Evil and then came back to the Golden Gate Bridge, and then you kill yourself and you go back to Purgatory or the main area in Alcatraz. You fly again. The second time you hit, you know, the Giant or Zetsubou no Shima. I just think that this makes a ton of sense, guys, because, you know, Mob of the Dead is the only map that actually has Purgatory and where time repeats itself. I mean, Shangri-La is the same way, and I think Shangri-La also has a lot of importance to the storyline. I'll be talking about that later in the video. But for the instance of this plane in Mob of the Dead, I just feel like this cipher really kind of ties everything together. I mean, the Mob of the Dead is one of the maps with an endless time, time system. So you guys go do one thing, you're done with it, and you restart. And we see the plane in each of these maps. So there's got to be some correlation there between the timeline or the time system in Mob of the Dead, the opening of these portals in the sky, the Zetsubou no Shima cipher that actually talks about this flash of light in the sky and a plane, as well as, seeing the plane in every single map. So it does, to me, make sense. I believe that this is the way that Mob of the Dead is actually set up, and this is why it's tied to everything, because they do kind of open these time rifts or these portals every single time that they actually fly to the Golden Gate Bridge to escape. And since, they die at the Golden Gate Bridge, they restart, they try to fly off again, and they just keep, doing that over and over. So the final thing I want to mention is Richtofen carries around 2 blood vials from characters in Mob of the Dead, and after the Zetsubou no Shima Easter egg, every character has blood vials. I'm assuming they're all from the people in Mob of the Dead. That's just got to be also, guys, a pretty important little detail, because Richtofen's been carrying those blood vials around since Origins. And the fact that Jason Blundell actually covered this and said we'll actually know what these are before DLC 4 is pretty damn exciting. So that has a lot of ties to Mob of the Dead as well, because it's blood vials from people in Mob of the Dead, and Richtofen's carrying them around, and he keeps referencing the insurance policy if we don't like where we're going. This could sound like if he doesn't like one timeline or whatever happens, they can always go back in time somehow and redo it again. With that being said, what do you think of this theory? I think it's a pretty damn good theory. I think Treyarch, if this is the theory, They have done a lot of work ahead of time to make all these maps work, and I really respect that, and I think that they have one of the coolest games out there for the storyline, and I'm just excited to see what DLC 3 and 4 have in store for us. So with that being said, thank you guys all for watching. My name is Ryan. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.